This is JD Dishman with Comics to Games. For example, today's game we're going to be discussing is Arkham Origins. Anyway, I know. There's a comic book coming. There's a comic book game called Arkham Origins. Most people are going to be dying to see this Friday. So I thought, well, let's do a discussion on some of the basic stuff we already know. And just give out more detail. Okay. The Batman that's going to be featured here is just year 2, Year 2 was never a very good succeed. But year 1, this is where it's set in. It's like a Legends of the Dark Knight type of story, where Batman has to deal with the Black Mask, the Joker, Bane, Deathstroke, and all these other guys. Which I think is pretty interesting because obviously, well, gotta think of something to say. Oh yeah, Batman versus Black Mask, which to me, Black Mask should be a very, very, very well-known villain, but he's not very well-known. Most people don't even know who the heck this psychopath is. In reality, he's one of the biggest villains of all time in the comics. I mean, he's like better than the Penguin. It's like Batman with a mobster twist to him, He is kind of like the reverse of Batman, where in reality he's a mobster. He killed his own parents and stuff like that, instead of witnessing their death and everything. And apparently he shares an origin similar to Hush, in a way, because he's a friend of Bruce Wayne that went psychopath and went criminal, too, like Hush. But anyway, back to the scripted stuff. Like I said, this is year 1 Batman, or aka Proto-Batman. He's just beginning his crime-fighting career until his year 2 Xmas, or aka Christmas, is interrupted by the 8 assassins that'll torture you all night, which is Batman. The 8 assassins, however, I was able to put down about a small bio of them, just one word, one sentence thing. Okay, known assassins' backstories. Deathstroke, a mercenary who was souped up by a super soldier serum secretly given to him by the military. Firefly, a pyromaniac who works for the mob. Deadshot, the world's greatest sniper with a death wish. Bane, a child who grew up in a little prison and gained strength for an experimental super soldier later on in life. Executioner, former hero turned mercenary. And for Copperhead, I don't know much about this version of her, so I'm going to have to wait till the game comes out. Anyway, other villains. Brandon, a corrupt SWAT officer who was nemesis in year 1 storyline created by Frank Miller and David Messi. He's actually a very bad villain. Brandon is like the worst villain you can come together. You know what I'm saying, man? So be careful about this guy. He's like the worst supervillain into in year 1. He was like the only villain in year 1, next to Commissioner Loeb, who apparently dies in this game. And even at the beginning, it's hard to tell. Heck, even one of the missions is to break into the Gotham City PD in order to find the criminal database, the national criminal database, to find the DNA of the guy who killed him. Killed Loeb, actually, not Brandon, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the mastermind, Black Mask, like I said, it was a friend of Batman's and his alter ego, who secretly was a businessman and who became a mobster, And the Joker, the quintessential Batman villain and arch rival, who actually was originally the Red Hood. If you haven't read The Killing Joke and the recent Batman stories, which kind of confirms the fact that he is I think the Red Hood kind of represents what Joker might become later on. Because you see his costume, it looks exactly like a Joker suit. Okay, as far as I can tell, well, the Batmobile's under construction, and all this other stuff. Like Alfred's kind of like being an antagonist, and Gordon too, because they don't understand Batman yet. It takes a while till they understand him, and hopefully they understand him later on. I like the fact that this is the greatest video game I've ever played, and well, the series, because I like the first two installments. I hope this installment is just as good as the first two, and I hope you all will enjoy this game too. This is JD Dishman, the Comics to Video Games, signing off.